Hello, and welcome to another lawnfawn video. It's Kelly here, and today we are so excited to be introducing our brand new stamp set, Cake It Easy, with its coordinating dies and coordinating coloring stencils. We'll also be introducing the Cake It Easy add-on with its coordinating dies and coloring stencils. These sets are so cute together because you can create a three-tiered cake, and we'll show you that in just a little bit. We'll also be introducing the latest in our series of Henry's Build-A-Sentiments. This is Henry's Build-A-Sentiment Birthday, and it has all the perfect birthday sentiments in it. We've also come out with Scripty Happy Outline add-on. So we've been coming out with outline add-ons to our previous Scripty words. Scripty Happy is a much older die, but a favorite, and now we have this awesome outline to go along with it. And then we've done the same thing for our Scripty Birthday. So we have an outline to go along with our older Scripty Birthday die, and I'm so glad to have these now. First, we're going to take a look at the Cake It Easy stamp set, which has two different styles of cakes in two different sizes. So we have this one with this cute little icing detail, and then we have the one with the kind of fudge dripping on top. And we have those in two different sizes, and you can use the cakes on their own, or you can layer them together. We also have this cute little ribbon detail, which could be a ribbon going around your cake, or kind of like one of those cakes that have the fruit in the middle, which is really cute. We have a little set of candles, so we have a smaller set and a larger set to match the two different sizes of cakes. And then we have little individual candles as well that you could add to your cakes too. Then we have some cute little extra accessories for the cake. So we have a little strawberry and we have a cherry, which are really fun to put on top. And then we have some smiley faces that you can add into your cakes, which is so much fun. And this is what that looks like, and I think it's absolutely adorable. You can see that we have two different styles of smiley faces, and then we also have those cute little rosy cheeks that you could add or not. Then my favorite thing about this stamp set are these number candles. So we have the number candles from 0 to 9, and we have them both the smaller size and the larger size. And this is what makes it so much fun to customize these cards. We called this stamp set Cake It Easy because it can be a quick and easy card where you stamp, maybe coloring stencil a cake, and then layer the numbers on top. And then it's perfectly personalized for your recipient, which is so much fun. I love being able to personalize things for people. It always just makes it feel so special. So this is the Cake It Easy set, and this is the Cake It Easy add-on, which you can see has an even smaller cake in both of those styles, the one with the cute little icing details and the one with the fudge dripping down. We also have the cute little ribbon or fruit stripe you can add to your cake, a little thing of candles, and some mini phrases, Happy B-Day, and also, of course, a giant happy birthday and let's eat cake, of course, which you need. And here you can see how the sizes compare between the two sets, and we'll show you how they layer in just a bit. But now it's time to add some color to these fun images, and you can use markers, colored pencil, watercolor, or the coloring stencils, which we'll show you in just a little bit. For this cake here, I am using some really light kind of peachy pinks here to layer on to my frosting, and I think this is just such a pretty color. And so I'm going to be coloring my tiers in the same way because I'm eventually going to create a three-tiered cake with these pieces. The other thing I really like about having the three different sizes of cakes is that you can use them with different critters. So if you had smaller critters, you could use the smaller cake, or larger critters, you could use the larger cake. So these are really fun for adding in with some of your favorite critter stamp sets to create birthday cards by adding the cake in the center between your favorite critters. So having the different sizes is not only nice for being able to create a tiered cake, but it's also really nice for being able to mix and match with your favorite critters. So for the bottom of the cake, I added some nice light browns, and I always like adding little dots just to create like a little extra texture on the cake. And I'm adding some turquoise and then a little bit of a darker pink for those like little frosting buttons. And then for the bottom of this cake, I'm using those same E20 markers, E23, E21. I just think they're just like the perfect little cake color. They just look so nice. And I'm adding a little bit of shadow underneath where that kind of frosting fudge is dripping down. And then I'm just blending it out, keeping it lighter towards the center so that it gives the cake kind of that rounded look. Now with this kind of fudge or frosting, of course, I'm going to make it fudge because I am a chocolate person. I love chocolate cake, but you could also do really fun colors with these as well. And Shari's going to show you that in a little bit. So you could customize these by matching your pattern paper with fun colors or using the recipient's favorite color on there, which I think would be really fun as well. Now for these little ribbon stripes or frosting stripes, I'm just going to add some nice pink onto those. And then we're going to start coloring in our different candles. And I always like to add a darker marker towards the bottom, and then I blend it out with a lighter marker. But of course you could just do one color and it would look awesome. Now you'll see that I'm going to go through all of these different number candles and use some rainbow colors on all of them. Again, doing the darkest color towards the bottom and then blending it out with a lighter marker. I just think that looks really nice and gives it this fun kind of special gradient look, which is so pretty. And so I'm going through and adding color to the different size numbers and also to those other candles that we have on top. I like that you could customize it with just plain candles or with the number candles depending. And so I'm just going to keep working my way through all of these numbers and filling in my fun rainbow. I thought it would be fun to color these in rainbow colors, but if I was doing like age 45, for example, I would probably color them both in the same color. But really, it just depends. Anything would look amazing on your card. So the last one, we're going to add our pretty purple colors here to our last ones, and then we're just going to color in the flames too. And of course, you could just do orange, or here you'll see I'm doing a little bit of a dark orange and then a lighter orange, or you could do a dark orange and then bring in a lighter yellow. And here you can see I have my favorite helper, my son Miles here. He was helping me decide how to color these in, and he thinks these candles are so much fun to play around with. They're so adorable. And so now we're just going to go through and just blend out all of those candles with the yellow on top, and these are looking so amazing. And now you can see all these cute cakes here. And then Miles wanted to show you his happy face jacket, which is so cute, from his Auntie Ivy. If any of you guys have ever gotten a thank you card from Ivy, she gave him that super cute sweater. We love Auntie Ivy so much. And so now we're working on the Cake It Easy add-on. And I'm going to color these guys in the same way, again, so that I could layer them. But I also love that this gives you a smaller cake, which might be the perfect size for the scene on your card. And so we're just going to color in the cake part again in those E20 markers. And then we're going to add our chocolate fudge to the top of this here, which I think looks just awesome. It really, really makes me wish I had some cake. And so here we're going to go through and add our color onto the little ribbons. I like the pink and the turquoise together. I think it's really pretty. And then we can add some color to those little candles at the bottom too. And we can just add our little flames to there. Next, we're going to take out the coordinating dies for Cake It Easy, which are already separated, and all you need to do is line them up with your stamped images, run it through your die cut machine, and you'll have beautifully cut out images every time. And here are different ways that you can mix and match them. You can see the different sizes of candle groupings or ribbons are going to match the different sizes of the cakes, and of course you can mix and match any of these together. So any style of cake can go along with any style of candle or the cute little strawberries or cherries, etc., which I think is really fun. And then you can go ahead and customize the cakes to the person's age, which is so much fun. So you could do like a sweet 16 cake. You can do all sorts of fun things. So I love that you can mix and match these in such a cool way. The other thing that you can do with these cakes is that you can give a tiered cake. So you can layer these on top of each other, which I think is a really, really cool look. So there you can see how fun that is, and you can really make the cake the star of the show on your card by layering them together. Here are the dies for the Cake It Easy add-on, which are already separated, and you can just line them up with your stamped images, hold it in place with some low-tack tape, you'll run it through the die cut machine, and have perfectly cut out images every time. And here you can see the cute little mini images that are included in the Cake It Easy add-on. And just like the other set, you can layer these pieces too. So you can add the little ribbon on, you can put the candles on either one of the cakes, or you can bring in the original Cake It Easy and layer them together to get this amazing tiered cake, which I think looks so cute. The small numbers are going to fit on top of the tiniest cake and the medium cake, and the larger numbers will fit on top of the largest cake. Here are the coloring stencils for the Cake It Easy set. It's a set of 3, and they're sized to the same size as the stamp set, so that it makes it really easy to store together. All you need to do is just line them up with your stamped images and brush on some ink, and you'll have a beautifully colored in image. They have these really great etched guidelines, which makes it super easy to line up with your images. And here you can see I'm just doing a similar color palette to what we did on our ones that we colored with markers. So I love that you can be inspired by a card that was colored by markers, but use the coloring stencils, or vice versa, which is so awesome. Then next we can line up our cute little candle here. We're going to fill this in. I'm just going to add a little more ink towards the bottom of it to get that fun gradient look like what we did with the markers. And now you can see how beautiful these look all colored in with stencils. And then here we have the cute little Cake It Easy add-on, which is a 2-step stencil, and they're sized again to be the size of that mini stamp set. And we're going to do the same thing here, where we're just going to brush on some ink towards the bottom. And here you can see I've done some light brown towards the bottom, and then we're going to do a fun color towards the top. So we're going to do some nice blue on this top icing, and you can see just how pretty that looks. I made it darker towards the outside edges and lighter towards the middle to give it a fun gradient. Now here is our Henry's Build a Sentiment birthday. We have all of these different Henry's Build a Sentiment sets where you can mix and match your sentiments. This is just an example of just a few of the sentiments that you can make with this set. You can make so many more, which is so awesome. They're really, really easy to line up because they're all on the same size rectangular base. Clear stamps have a natural cling to them, so when you touch them together, they're going to cling together to create your phrases. You can create long phrases or stack phrases. Here we're going to create a longer phrase, and I love that you can mix and match to create the perfect phrase for your card. This card that I created had a bunch of smiley faces on it, so I wanted to use the word happiest in there to go along with the happy faces. So you can really mix and match and create these perfect sentiments. You can also do longer sentiments that are really great for stamping on the insides of your cards too. I like to build up my phrase on my work surface and then pick it up with my block, and then I'm ready to stamp. And then here I wanted to show you another card I worked on where I used the Henry's Build a Sentiment birthday, and I decided to create a stacked sentiment instead of a long sentiment. So I love that all of these give you so many fun ways to use them. The other really cool thing about the Henry's Build a Sentiment sets is that they all can work together. So you can mix and match any of the sets together. So if there's a word from another set that you like, you can bring it into your birthday phrases. Or we have the family set that has like mom, dad, sister, brother, in-law, etc. And so you could add those to create a fun custom sentiment. So the Henry's Build a Sentiments are just so much fun. It almost feels like that magnetic poetry. Remember those? Where you can mix and match and just create your own phrases, which is just awesome. Now that we've taken a look at our Henry's Build a Sentiment birthday, we're going to take a look at those Scripty outlines. So here you can see we have the Scripty Happy outline add-on and the Scripty Birthday outline add-on. The original Scripty Happy and Scripty Birthday came out years ago, and now we've come out with this fun outline that makes your sentiments just look a little different and gives them a nice bold look. So all you need to do is just add some adhesive onto the backs of your Scripty words, and then you can layer them onto these outlines. You can see that the die creates kind of like a little embossed guide there, so it makes it really easy to line them up, and now it gives it that fun outline look. This is really fun for getting like a fun two-tone look, or you could add some vellum or sparkle cardstock behind there. There's so many cool ways to do it. And of course we have the same thing for our Scripty Birthday, where it has that little embossed guide on there, which are going to help you line the whole thing up. You're going to layer this one, and then for the birthday you're also going to add the little dot onto the eye so that you can have your perfect finished phrase. The happy is really great because you can combine it with a stamped phrase like happy anniversary, etc. Or you could combine the Scripty Happy and the Scripty Birthday together. You could also stamp happy and then have birthday, or have the die cut birthday and then have wishes, which is really fun. So now that we've taken a look at all those, it's time to create a card with the Cake It Easy. And I have the new Gleeful Gradients paper here, and this paper is so beautiful. I'm going to die cut that with the second largest of the large stitch rectangles. And oh my gosh, look how pretty this is. That gradient just blows me away. Now I wanted this to feel like a really special birthday card, so I decided to do some gold splatters on here. So I'm just going to spray some water into this gold metallic watercolor paint. I'm going to pick it up with my paintbrush and then just tap the paintbrush to create splatters. This is a fun way to make something feel really special. It's quick and easy to do, and I think it's just so much fun to do. There's something about splattering that is just a blast. So now that I have some splatters on here, I can set this aside to dry. And we're going to bring in those images that we colored from the Cake It Easy and Cake It Easy add-on, and we're going to be creating a 3-tiered cake. I'm going to make this a 15th birthday cake because it's Lawnfawn's 15th birthday this year, so I thought that would be really fun. But I think this cake would work for any age. It's so pretty. So I'm just adding a little bit of tape runner to the bottom of my middle cake, and I'm going to layer that on, and then we'll repeat the same thing with the smaller cake, and you can see just how they stack in such a fun way. Then I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back of my number candles and layer those right in there. And I just love these kind of number candles. I always think it just makes it so fun when it's personalized to the person's birthday. So now that we have that all on there, we're going to add some foam tape to the back of this. And then we're going to work on our sentiment. And this stamp set's called Cake It Easy, right? So I wanted to show you how quick and easy it could be to create a really special birthday card. Now I wanted to take out one of these fancy folded banners here. I really love these banners. They just feel so special because they have those fancy folds on them. And I'm going to leave it flat for now because I like it flat to do my stamping. And I'm going to take out the happy birthday phrase in the add-on, and I'm going to curve it to match the curve of my die. You can see I lined it up. It didn't quite match, so I just curved it again, and now it was perfect. I'm going to ink it up with some black licorice ink, and we can stamp right onto this fancy folded banner. And then we can go ahead and do the folds. And there's just something so magical about these folds. So you're going to fold back along the one that's closest to the phrase and then forward on the next one. and then back on the one that's kind of more towards the middle, and forward making a little Z fold, and now you have this really pretty folded banner. To hold this down, I like to use little glue dots, but of course you could do a dot of glue as well. And so I'm just going to layer glue dots behind each end and on the back as well to kind of hold everything in place. Next, I wanted to take out my scalloped rectangle dies because I like the little scalloped edge of the cake and it reminded me of these dies. So I decided to take out the one that matches my rectangle. We're going to die cut that from some Rainbow Ever After paper that's in a light pink that kind of looks like the pink that we colored our frosting with. And so we're just going to layer our piece of the Gleeful Gradients over top, and now we'll have this really pretty scallop detail. And I really like how the scallop detail matches the scallop on the cake. I think that's so much fun. And then now we can start to layer everything on there. So for this birthday banner, I'm just going to add that on with some tape runner. And then we want the cake to be the star of the show. So we've got all that foam tape on the back of the cake. We can pull off all of that liner paper and then layer the cake onto this card. And this card is already feeling so magical and special. And because it felt so magical, I thought it needs magical paper, which is this Northern Lights paper. I love this rainbow paper so much. It's just so pretty. And so I'm going to go ahead and trim that down to be the size of a standard card, 5.5 by 4.25. We'll also get a standard card base here of the same size. We can add some adhesive onto that, and then we'll layer the really pretty gradient paper on. And then for the panel, I'm just going to add some foam tape to the back of it just to give it another pop. I just love foam squares. I can never have enough. And so we're going to layer that right on top. And now this card is all done, and it is just so cute and pretty. It can be personalized with any number candles. You could even make the whole card and not put the number candles on. You could have a bunch stashed up, and then all you need to do is add the number candles to match the recipient. Here you can see that I made 2 of them because it was such a quick and easy card to make, and it turned out so pretty. And now next up, Shari is going to show us how to bring in some of our favorite new critters, the capybaras, into a Cake It Easy card. So take it away, Shari.
So for my card today, I'm creating a birthday card, and I'm going to be combining Cake It Easy with the capybara stamp set. For my little cakes here, I did stamp that stripe detail on each of those tiers of the cake and color it in with my markers. So I've already colored and cut out all my images with the coordinating dies, and I'm just going to set those aside, and I'm going to work on my background first. So I have a piece of mermaid cardstock cut to 4.25 by 5.5. And then I have some mermaid ink, and I am going to stamp all these fun number candles, which I just think are so much fun, all over the background to create a custom pattern paper basically. And you can see I'm sticking to the edges because I know I'm going to cover up the center with this lacy rectangle. So I pulled out the lacy rectangle die and I'm laying that on there so I can kind of see what it's going to look like. You can see that 1/7 was way too far in and you're never going to see it. So this is just a good guide to have. Once I have all those numbers kind of stamped in there, I pulled out the single little candle and stamped that around. And now I'm using this teeny tiny little music note from the Capybara stamp set to really fill that in. So you can see now I have this really fun number pattern that's going to frame up my lacy rectangle. Now for my lacy rectangle, I'm also going to cut a stitched rectangle that fits inside, and I'm using a piece of the Gleeful Gradients 12 by 12. Depending on where you cut it from this paper, you can get some different colors. So I'm cutting both of these from the same sheet, but in a different spot. So for the lacy rectangle, I ended up with the yellows, and then for the solid rectangle that's going to have my cake and capybaras on it, I ended up with some more pinky oranges. Now for my sentiment, I have the Scripty birthday and the new Scripty birthday outline. I'm going to use this blue with the little stars for the outline and the yellow that matches the lacy rectangle for the Scripty birthday. That outline die creates a little score line that kind of outlines where the word birthday goes, which makes it really easy to layer the Scripty birthday on top of the Scripty birthday outline. So I just went ahead and added the little dot of the eye. I like to always add that first so I don't lose it on my desk. And then I will add the Scripty birthday with a little bit of liquid glue. Just using that etching line on there as a guide. And then I'll just place a block on this and let it dry nice and flat. For the first part of my sentiment, I'm going to use the Henry's Build a Sentiment birthday stamp set. This has lots of fun birthday sentiments and lets you customize your sentiment to fit your card exactly how you want. So for this one, I am stamping out wishing you and an amazing. And this will go with that Scripty birthday to say, wishing you an amazing birthday. And I'm just trimming these down to have these little rectangular banners with the sentiment on them. Now I'm taking that sheet of cardstock that I stamped earlier with the number candles, and I'm putting that onto my card base. Then I'm going to layer my two rectangles together. So I have that stitched rectangle layered on the inside of that lacy rectangle. This I'm going to pop up with some foam tape so we have some dimension off of the card base. And this is going to frame up my images on my card today. Now I want that Scripty birthday to be right along the bottom, so I've just put it there so I can see where my images are going to fit. I'm going ahead and stacking my cake together, and I'm going to decorate it with the oranges. Now I am gluing one to the bottom left down there where I put that dot of glue. I do actually end up pulling that off here in a little bit, so you're going to see that once I start to put my card together. Then I thought it was really fun to have this little capybara guy on top of the cake. He's really excited about his birthday, so he's climbed on top of his cake to celebrate. Of course, he needs a little party hat. And then I also have that fun little party horn that I'm going to add as well. I also thought it would be funny to add the candles. Like he climbed up there and he pushed the candle off the top and he's holding it on top of his nose. So you're going to see me add those numbers on top of his head when I assemble the whole card. So there's my cake put together. And then of course these two little guys here also need some party hats. Now, when I placed these images together, I could see that the Scripty birthday would cover up that orange that I had put at the bottom of the cake. So I just pulled it off and I have placed that over to the side. I will use that on my card in a really fun way though. So I've put foam squares all over the back of the cake and that is popped up off the rectangle. I do like the look of the images kind of hanging over the edges of the rectangle. I always think that's kind of fun and dynamic. And then now I'm adding those number candles with some foam as well. And this is a really great way to be able to customize this card to the recipient who is having a birthday. Now I can add my other little capybaras. I will also add them with foam squares so they are popped up too. There's a lot of dimension on this card with all the images popped up and the rectangle. And I'm actually going to shift these around a little bit once I get that big sentiment down there because the H was kind of covering up my little guy here and I didn't want to cover him up. So I'm just going to pop him off and shift things over once I get the sentiment on there. For the sentiment, of course, I need to pop it up too because it's layering over these images that are already popped up on foam. So I just put a little strip and I will add that sentiment right along the bottom of the rectangle. This kind of gives a nice base that's nice and heavy for all these images to sit on. And then I can add my little capybara back in here. I am adjusting where that foam is. And I'm just going to tuck him behind the D. And I actually did kind of shift this one over a little bit too. So I should have put the birthday down first, but it's all good because we can easily pop those off and move them around. So now I have the little banners here that says wishing you an amazing, and I want to kind of tuck those right in here above those little capybaras at the bottom. And I'm actually going to glue those directly to the rectangle so I can tuck it behind his little hat there. And I'm making them not straight because I just think that's kind of fun for a party card. For that orange that's left over, I made it the dot of the eye, which I just think is really fun. Now for a little bit of shimmer, I do have some stars cut with the sequin mix die. This is cut out of gold metallic cardstock just to add a little extra in that top corner where it was kind of empty. And then of course some glitter on the flames of the candles, the party hats, and the decoration on the cake. And then here is my finished birthday card with Cake It Easy, the Scripty birthday, and the cute capybaras. And I just think this turned out so fun. I just love all the colors on this card.
Oh my goodness, Shari, this is so cute. I love the background that you created with all of the number candles, and I love how you brought the capybaras in with the cakes. I think this is so much fun. And next up, we have some incredible cards by the design team, and this one by Grace is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love that she used the new gleeful gradient paper, and I love how she brought in all of our cute baking mice and fun baking things into this card. It looks absolutely adorable, and I love how she mixed and matched different colors on the frosting for her tiered cake. It is just so sweet, and that happy birthday phrase looks so pretty cut out of the gradient paper too. This card by Elena is so much fun, and I love how she brought in some of our favorite tea party characters to enjoy the cake. This card here by Tammy is just adorable, and all of our cute, really high five characters are perfect for this birthday card. This card here by Audrey is so pretty. I love that rainbowy background with the Scripty happy birthday with their outlines. And then here, I love how Mindy brought in some of our favorite mice with the Cake It Easy stamp set, and that balloon background is just perfect. This card here by Elise is so pretty. I love how she customized it for someone's 93rd birthday, which is awesome. And then this card here by Melissa is so much fun. I love the happy birthday cut out of the rainbow stripes with the black outline. It looks beautiful. This card here shows you can use the Henry sentiment onto your Build-A-Cakes, which looks so amazing. And then here, this card by Letitia is so much fun. I absolutely adore her strawberry theme and how she added those ribbons onto the cake. So we cannot wait to see all of your cake cards and all of your birthday cards, so make sure to share them with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!